Okay, so let's start. Make sure before you start, you have an extra sheet of paper and a pencil. Do you have it?
Actually, I don't have a mom. I will just try to practice if during if you want, I can get.
Yeah, please. Please.
Um,
Yeah, extra sheet of paper. So let's begin. Okay. Wait a second. Okay. So good morning. My name is Shalini Audie Tevis. What is your full name?
my name is Julie Aniston.
How shall I call you?
You may call me Julie.
Okay, Judy, I have some questions for you. What is your typical day like at work?
I usually have my work like waking up around 7 in the morning, and I prepare myself with my breakfast. Then I will fix uh, myself and go to the hospital where my work starts usually by 7:30 in the morning.
What would you change about your job?
Um, I would probably limit the time I am doing my overtime, since as of this time, quite I am having a hard time coping with the longer hours of my work.
What job do you think you will be doing in the next 5 years?
I guess I would probably be an entrepreneur. I It would help me to gain my self confidence when dealing with customers.
What skills and qualifications are required for that kind of job?
I'd say it would be having a good communication technique when you are dealing with a lot of people. In addition to that, I could even be having a lot of patience.
Okay, thank you. I'd like you to get an extra sheet of paper and a pencil. I want you to plan about this for 1 minute. Okay, this is your question. Hang on a second. Okay, please. This is your question. Okay, you may start now, please.
Mm, okay. I would like to uh, say a part of me that I feel a lot of person whom encourage me to do my best. I would say that this person I've met like 2 years ago when I was on my downfall and I could hardly recover from a lot of troubles in my life. So she asked me through a common friend of mine that she introduced herself and we met halfway through the time that I was really struggling. And this person was named as Emily. She's on her 40s and she's having a quite a determined, hardworking lady. And this is the qualities that I find her interesting. She is the one who made my life here in the place where I'm working quite easier uh, to work since I found a person whom I can trust with. And during that time, I was on a verge of uh, a
Okay, thank
struggling
you.
days. He like
Sorry. Sorry, 2 minutes is over. Sorry. Now, allow me to give a follow-up comment or follow-up questions related to part two. Is it important for teenagers to have goals?
definitely young generations are proclaiming themselves to struggle to get their goals. For instance, uh, those uh, those students who are or are studying in their intermediate years, they are working very hard to pursue their dreams that will make them a successful person for the years to come.
What do you think would encourage young children to learn more?
I say it would be their determination as the best quality they should have for them to achieve their goals. In addition to that, parents also can be the person who are the closest with them who could encourage them to pursue their dreams as well.
Should children have clear goals?
Absolutely. Um, while these youngsters who are still at their schooling are being able to train to pursue their dreams in life. For instance, they are already on their academic achievement uh, for them to be involved in such an activity that will make them successful
Okay, thank
person.
you. Last question. Do you think people should talk to others about their goals?
Mm, no, I don't think so. It will be beneficial for them to keep it on themselves. Since for them alone, they can make some effort to pursue in whatever uh, life lifelong dreams they have, even though they don't have any connection with the other person.
Okay, thank you. That's the end of the IELTS speaking test. Goodbye. Okay, so like I said, in the actual exam, you can just leave and that's it. It's over, right? and you're just going to wait for your score. So here I am giving a free interview and a free feedback about your performance today. Okay. So basically, as I notice, you are trying your best to provide every good answer to every question. Okay. No problem about that. But what you need to remember is that you are given chance to make your answer understandable to them. Now, there are so many components, or there are a number of components that you can help yourself or you can do in order to make your answer more understandable to your listener. How would that be? First, you need to have the process of how you answer the question. And I always tell this to my students that whenever they're going to give an answer to their question, they would always consider the point, they will have an answer to the question, they will give their reason, and then they will give another example, and then they will give their point. So you give your answer, you give your reason why that's your answer, you give your example, and you go back to your point. So this is the step, this is the method, and there are more. Actually, this is part of my lecture. So I'm just sharing this to you, so you can learn from this. So when I ask you, what is your typical day like at work? Well, of course, you cannot follow the prep for this time, but basically for part one, when I ask you, what is your typical day like at work? I was expecting that you're going to tell me the sequence of your job. That means to say, yes, you may be right because you talk about the day when you start your job. But after that, what happened? Did you sequentially talk about it? Like how you are going to work in a day, like at 5 a.m., this is what I'm going to do. And then at 6, and then at 7. At least I can see how your itinerary is. That's what they are actually looking after. So, or they want to hear from you. What is your typical day like at work? Well, um, usually my day would start, or you can add an idiomatic expression. Well, usually I start rolling up my sleeves, okay, at the break of the dawn. That's it. Meaning to say 5 in the morning. Uh, well, I have to prepare my breakfast and make sure that I will be at the hospital at what time? Usually, maybe I should be at the hospital at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then once I get to the hospital, I will have to check for anything that needs to be done. But of course, before anything else, there would be an endorsement first. Okay, so do you understand? And then at 7 in the morning, so again, your goal is not to finish your day. Your goal is to sequence what you usually do. And I tell you, even before you end your 8 or 9 o'clock, examiner will interrupt because that's what they're looking after. That's what they want to hear from you. Now, what would you change about your job? You talk about being an entrepreneur, right? And then after you talk, what would you change? Now, you tell me your reason behind that. Why would you change your job? So, what would you change about your job? Um, you talk about, you said, actually, you talk about, usually I work overtime. I think you're talking about an overtime. What would change about your job? Well, I think it's really the time that I need to work more, which I don't think it's healthy because I just gave birth, and so my baby needs more time with me, and it's just so hard because usually in a typical day I need to extend my work hours. So for me, this is something that I need to change as soon as possible because not only that I'm tired, but I don't get to have a quality time with my daughter. In fact, yesterday, that's it. You're going to give me an example. I went home around 10, and yeah, it was just so difficult for me to really manage my time because when I got home, I was just so tired, and then after that, I would have done. You need to tell me about it because yeah, I'm gonna share. Okay, I just want to share to you more about this, but there are so many things that I want to also talk about. Like I said, it can't be done in 30 minutes, but it's all right. I'll try my best. What job do you think you will be doing in 5 years? So you said you want to be an entrepreneur, right? And then you tell me why. And you said because you want to improve your the way you deal with people. Is that it? So what job do you think you will be doing in the five? So I want to be an entrepreneur. So you are just going to be an entrepreneur to improve your communication ability. Is that it? So why don't you go to a school or get enrolled or something? So anyway, what do you think you will be doing in 5 years? I want to be an entrepreneur because for me that could give me more uh lee you can say that could give me more leeway, that could give me more leverage in terms of time, because right now I am working as a registered nurse here in Saudi Arabia, and for that reason it's just too demanding. Like, I can't just go home anytime I want. But if you're an entrepreneur, you are the one managing your time, and I can even bring with me my daughter if it needs to be. So I remember I had one cousin, she's an entrepreneur back in the Philippines, and she is the boss of her own time. And I envy her for that because, see, okay, what skills and qualifications are required for the job? So this needs to be organized. So you need to talk about the skills first. So kailangan mo kasi i-organize yung answer mo. Hindi lang na basta mag-answer ka lang. Kailangan mong tingnan na yung examiner is not only after of your answer, they are after of how you process your answer. Kasi when you process your answer right, not only that they feel comfortable listening to you are also comfortable actually. Pero pag nararamdaman mo yung anxiety inside na, wait a minute, did I answer it right? Na, 'di ba nafe-feel mo yun sa sarili mo? That's when the
Yeah.
examiner also feels it na, what is she talking about? I mean, she could have said it this way. Something like that. So ayaw ng examiner at ayoko din na ikaw nahihirapan ka kasi mas nahihirapan akong intindihin yung sinasabi mo. Okay, so how are we going to do this? So, what skills and qualifications are required for the job? You're going to talk about skills first. So, skills are things that are not learned from school, but they're usually gained from experience. Okay, so what skills? Well, I think the best skill that an entrepreneur should have would be the marketing skill, because that is when the owner, or yes, the entrepreneur, will find ways of making sure that there are clients who will be interested to have his or her services. So for me, like, it would be interested to engage in my business. That is the marketing skill, because I don't think you will be able to earn out of your business without a marketing skill. So one good marketing skill would be dealing with customers or clients, like that customer service, meaning to say, how do I sell the product to them? It should be something that the product is also reliable. That's it. And then I have to have a very good sales talk, something like that. And then another skill, you know what? You don't have to worry if you are done with qualification skill. Basta kailangan yung skill, dalawa. Kasi ang question, skills. So hindi dapat isa lang. So what skills and qualifications are required? So yung skill, yung marketing skill, ano pa? Yung skill to skill of after sales, yan, mga after sales na mga skills. Then yung qualification maybe somehow you have to have the knowledge on um, good marketing, like when you are going to buy certain products for your product, like maybe materials, you have to have a wise decision when it comes to that. So that requires knowledge. There are books that might help you. I don't know what kind of business you engage, but for example, you want to put up a computer cafe in your hometown, then maybe it is good that you have a knowledge on computer. That's it. Okay, then you can talk about another knowledge. But I tell you, don't feel bad if examiner will interrupt you, even if you are not yet done with what you are going to say. Because they know two things. Examiner will interrupt you because they know that you can already answer the question. Second thing, they will interrupt you because you're not what? You're not answering the question, or you are heading nowhere. You would know if they will paraphrase the question, or if they will repeat the question. Yes. Okay. So next thing, describe a friend or a person who encouraged you to achieve a goal. Now, basically, you were not able to complete it in 2 minutes. Pero ito kasi, ito yung kailangan mong makompleto siya. You need to complete this in 2 minutes. In other words, what you're going to do. So sa 1 minute pa lang, you need to be very systematic on how you're going to plan your answer. Okay? Yes, and then for the 2 minutes, the first 1 minute, you should be able to complete all. Like you should have answered everything. Or 1 minute and 30 seconds. Then yung next 30 seconds mo, dapat tapos ka na kasi yun na yung para sa storytelling mo. Hindi pwede, it's not right that you're not yet finished with all of this discussion and your time is almost over. That's not good because that means that you're not able to manage your time, and that is maybe because you run out of ideas, you run out of words to say, and so deductions come in. Okay? Always keep that in mind. And then another, is it important for teenagers to have goals? Now, this is answerable by yes or no. Okay? So is it important for teenagers to have goals? So you have your answer, but your answer seems to be not enough. Okay? So is it important for teenagers to have goals? Um, Definitely, because when teenagers have ambitions in life, you need to paraphrase it, don't repeat the same words, they will do more for themselves, which is really important. They need to have a target. For example, then you are going to give me an example or one case in point. That's it. You're going to give me an example. Okay. And then you're going to go back to your point. What do you think would encourage young children to learn more? You have the answer. I truly understand where you're coming from, but it's just that it's not organized. It's not systematic. Like the way I understand it, the way I will process it, it's just so difficult on my side. You feel that, right? Because you yourself is also having a hard time. So what do you think would encourage young children to learn more? I think children children will learn more. Or okay, again, what do you think would encourage young children to learn more? Well, I think it's also their parents. If parents are going to appreciate them for what they are doing, I think they will be more than motivated to do what they need to do rather than hearing discouragement from their parents. Well, this is because of the fact that children really get their support system from their family, from their loved ones. More likely, who would this be? Of course, the parents, the mother and the father. So if the mother and father are always giving positive feedback about them, then I strongly believe that children are going to do more for their parents. I remember I had one cousin before, that's it. Okay? Should children have clear goals? Oh, not necessarily, because children, I think they're still very young, and so their mind could change anytime. But it's good that they have goals, but do he really have solid and clear goals? Well, I don't think so. When I was young, I told myself that I wanted to be a doctor, but that really changed when I grew up. Well, of course, for financial reason that I could no longer afford it. My parents could not afford it. So I settled for taking up Bachelor of Science in Nursing, which for me, I'm also very happy about this. You understand? Okay. Do you think people should talk to others about their goals? Oh, not necessarily. They should be talking to themselves, I guess, because with that, they'll really think more about what things they need to do more. Because sometimes when you tend to share to other people, some may even discourage you and tell you that this dream is not really for you, or it's just too impossible to reach that dream. And so you get to what? Feel depressed about it, and so you might question your ability to achieve or acquire whatever it is that you need to acquire, or yes, achieve or attain your goals. One perfect example of this was, okay. Anyway, do you have any questions so far?
It's okay, ma'am. It's clearly discussed what are my loopholes.
Yeah. Oh, yung loophole, ma'am, is one, the answer is not really addressing the question. That's really the ultimate problem. Number two is when you are coming up with an answer, it's not that organized. Like I said, the way you process your answer seems to be a bit confusing, and so examiner thinks that you may have not understood the question. Well, I know
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah.
So that's the impression there. So I hope that you're gonna really work more on this, work it out, try your best, not just to practice, but to practice it right. Because I know a lot of students like they're coming from different review centers, and I'm not really saying that I'm the best review center. I'm not saying that, but you need to look for somebody who will help you uh, really focus on what the examiners need from you. Because if you're just going to take and take the test without you knowing what examiners need from you, I'm sorry to say you might just be wasting your money. Because this is not an
Yeah.
IQ test, this is a skill exam. Skill exam means you need to know the skills expected of you. Because if you're just going to equate it to IQ, I know now that your confidence is very low. And it has nothing to do with your IQ. It has nothing to do with that. You are intelligent, you're smart, you are a professional nurse, you're, I think, an expert registered nurse in Saudi Arabia. You're somebody. But now, because of this, you you feel down. You're now questioning your ability, which is should not be the case. Because you should just understand what the examiner needs from you. And it will all boils down to that. Okay. So for tonight or for today, because we have different time zone, I am in the US right now and you are in Saudi Arabia. Here it's 8:50. Wait. Yes, it's 8:59 p.m. And I don't know with your time there. Um yeah. So I would like to conclude that with your speaking, I think your score will be 6 band score. Yes. I'm sorry, but that's how I will rate your performance today or tonight. Okay? Do you have any question? Any clarification? Yes.
It's okay, ma'am. I will just message you on how I will progress with my practice.
Yeah, sure. Sure. And I'm really happy that you had the courage to approach me about this because yeah, this is really what I love to do. I've been in the business for more than 15 years, and this is what, like you, I'm also a registered nurse. But before that, I am a trainer, and until now, I'm a trainer of IELTS. This is what I really love to do. That's why even if I'm already, a registered nurse here in the US, I would really find ways to help somebody like you because I know the struggle and I really want to just make a living here. I want to make a difference. And so I hope that this interview really helped you. At least it will guide you more because I know it's frustrating that in the actual exam you just get to have your result and there's no
Yeah,
explanation
yeah.
there. Right? You're right, Julie. Please,
Yeah.
Julie, yeah. Um, Thank you very much for trusting me on this. And I know that by you having that, confidence and just by, agreeing to this, that this will also really help other people that you are no different to them. They are also feeling the same. And I know you've read a lot of comments about that, right? How they struggle for, IELTS rather than NCLEX. Right, Julie. All right.
Why,
But
why,
like I said,
why?
it's you just have to know what they want. Give the monkey exactly what he wants. That's just it. So you can give everything you have, but if the monkey doesn't like it, still the monkey won't bite it, would not even eat it. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
just it.
you're right.
The monkey exactly what he wants. Julie, thank you, and thank you for waiting, patiently waiting for your schedule. And I hope and pray that you'll be able to really achieve your desired band score in your next exam. Have a great day, Julie.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you. Bye
you.
bye.